How's it going, everyone? In this video I'll be showing you guys how to make these low poly trees in the same style that I did here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're gonna start by opening up Blender. Once we have Blender, we're gonna delete all of these. Press 1 on the numpad. You can see all the keys that I'm pressing right over here. Now let's start by adding a cube. We're just gonna do the stump first. I'm gonna go to edit mode, press 1 on my keyboard to get the vertices select, or you can press this one right here. And I'm gonna select everything with A, M, and merge at center. That way we have a single vertex. Now we're gonna go over here and we are going to add a skin modifier and a subdivision surface modifier. Now what we can do is we can select this, press E to extrude and Z to extrude on the Z axis. And I'm just gonna extrude this right about here. I'm gonna select the bottom one and I'm gonna extrude just a tiny amount so it gets a flat bottom. Now I can just keep extruding, scaling it down for the stump and extrude some more just to get a basic, very basic tree stump base, I guess you can call it that. Now I'm just gonna go X-ray mode just to see what I'm doing better so I can select these properly. And you can just play around with this until you get the shape that you want. If you want to move the vertices up and down, you can double press G. Alright, so I got a shape that I like. Doesn't have to be perfect. We can always edit that later. Now let's go back to object mode and we're gonna hide this for now because we are going to make the leaves now. Now for the leaves, I'm just gonna do the same thing. Merge at center, get a single vertex, add a skin modifier, and I'm also gonna move this to the side a bit and press Ctrl A to scale. Make sure X-rays mode is on so you can see what we're doing. And I'm just gonna make just a basic leaf shape right here. Something like this will work. Doesn't have to be detailed. We don't even need to use the subdivision surface modifier for this. And I'm also gonna make this part flat just like that by extruding a single vertex as well. Alright, now that we have something like this, what we can do is add an empty. So Shift A, add an empty plane axis. Now that we have an empty, we are going to add an array modifier. We are going to remove the relative offset and enable object offset. And we are going to select the object to be the empty we just added. Don't forget to adjust the count. I'm going to put 6. Then we can just go ahead and do this. And I'm gonna put it just about there. That should be fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. That will work for me right now. Now I'm just gonna select this and you can go ahead and edit it to whatever you want. So if you want the leaf shape to be something like this, you can go ahead and do that and it'll edit everything else with it. Now, once you have a shape that you like, you are gonna go ahead and just copy this by pressing Shift D with it selected and then press right click to put it back into place. Then I'm gonna go edit mode and I'm just gonna move this up and scale it down. Just give it a little more variation. I'm also gonna scale it up on the Z axis just like that. Now what I can do is for the bottom one, since it's already placed properly, I can go ahead and apply the skin and the array modifier. That way if I move this, it won't affect this. And then I'm just gonna move this one in a 45-degree angle or an angle where it's a bit more randomized by putting the leaves together in the middle right there. And we are gonna add a simple deform so we can get that curve that we like, just like that. You can adjust the angle to make sure you get what you want. So if I want an extreme curve, it'll be something like this. We are gonna do the same thing for the rest of the leaves. So let's go ahead and do the exact same thing we did on the bottom one while changing a few adjustments to make it more randomized and natural. What you can do is also just select one of the ones you already did and apply the modifiers on, the array modifier, and just copy paste this, move it up. It will rotate automatically as you move it up. But if you still want to keep the same angle, you can go ahead and apply this, or you could just change it for every section if you really want. But I'm just going to keep it this way and apply this modifier and just keep modifying it as I go. Now for the top, to close it up a little more, I'm just gonna select the top view and size them down just like that. And just get another selection here and size it down as well. Something like that, basically. There we go. Now I see a little bit of gaps here, so what I'm gonna do is make sure all the modifiers are applied. I'm gonna select the ones with gaps and I'm just gonna scale them on the Z axis. just to give it a bit more randomness, since it is a natural tree, so it's always nice to have a bit of random stuff. Alright, so now that you have copy pasted the model over and over again, and you got something like this. What you're gonna do is add a decimate modifier just to lower the poly count and to make it more triangular, because you know, it looks kind of cool. So you're gonna hit the triangulate and you're gonna lower the ratio until you find something that isn't too low where it doesn't show, but isn't too high where you don't see any triangles. So something like this will work. And you're gonna do this for all the other leaves. Or what you can also do is select everything, join them together, and just decimate them all at once, which would be easier. So something like that will work, just a little more. Then I'm gonna apply the decimate on both of these, and I'm gonna go to edit mode, and I'm gonna just move some vertices away from the center just to randomize it a little more. Okay, once you have your leaves like this, we're gonna go ahead and unhide the branch by clicking the eye icon over here. And we're just gonna go to edit mode and move this all the way up. Now you can see that this is too large compared to the leaves. So what we can do is go ahead and select this, scale it up just to match a little more. You can always scale it back in Studio. So just mess around with this a bit until you get a shape that you like. Okay, so once you get a shape that you like, we're gonna go ahead and shade this smooth. We're gonna go ahead and apply these modifiers and add a decimate modifier with the triangulate, just to give it the same style as the leaves. So something like this, not too low poly where it messes up the whole mesh, but just enough so you can visually see the triangles. This will work, so I'm gonna apply this, and to make it flat at the bottom, I'm just gonna go ahead, go to edit mode, press 3 to select the faces right here, and we're gonna press S to scale on the Z-axis, and we're gonna click 0. Now it should be perfectly flat at the bottom. So now we got the tree done. Let's get to texturing it, which is pretty easy actually. So for texturing, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to UV editing, go back into front view by pressing 1 on your number pad, and we're gonna press A to select all, U, we're gonna project from view. Alright, so we have this project from view here. It looks a little messy, but we will work on that. Now we need a image texture to add it on. So we're gonna go to material, new, we're gonna call this color grid. We're gonna change the base color to an image texture, and we're gonna add the color grid. I'm gonna post the color grid PNG on the description down below, so if you wanna download that. It's a very simple grid that you can use for basically any low poly assets or buildings. Alright, so you're gonna press open and you're gonna import the color grid that you downloaded. Alright, now that we have the color grid imported, we're gonna go into material view. If you select everything again, you can see that whatever's projected on here, it'll show like this. So right now, if we move it on to the orange, it'll be an orange texture. Now we're gonna go ahead and make just a fall themed tree. So we're gonna place it like this. And just to make it a little bit more natural and realistic, I'm gonna go ahead and go to edit mode, go into vertices select, and hover over one of the vertices of the leaves and press L on your keyboard, and that should select everything that is linked together. So it should be only the connected ones like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and press L on some random leaves just like so. Completely random, doesn't have to be perfect, just so we can have some different color variations. Now once you selected enough of those, you can see that they're selected here. Now you can press G to move, and we're gonna change the color to something more, let's say more dark. So that should work. Now if you press A, you can see there's two separate ones. So these are the separate leaves. So if you ever want to change the color, you can go ahead and test around the different colors to see what works best. Now, I think these two work best together, so we're just gonna stick with this. Something like that should work. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing with the tree stump. This is a little easier because it's only one plain color. So select everything, project from view, and we're gonna add the same exact material. Because it's all on the same exact color grid, we can use it for everything in our model. I'm gonna give it a nice wooden color, and we should be done with the tree. Alright, now let's import this into Roblox Studio. Just make sure to delete the empty, make sure all the modifiers are applied, so make sure this is empty as well when you select these. We're just gonna go ahead, select everything, go to File, Export, FBX. I'm just gonna do selected objects. That makes it so if you have other objects in your collection, it won't export it with it, only the tree. Just make sure the tree itself is selected. I'm gonna export this to my downloads folder. We're gonna head on over to Roblox Studio. So once we're in Roblox Studio, we're gonna go ahead and go to Home, Import 3D, and we're gonna find our model, which should be over here. Now you can see these options. You don't have to play with any of those. Just make sure this is anchored and import. And there you have it. You have your tree. Now if it's a little too small or a little too big, you can always use this plugin over here, which is called Model Resize. I'll leave the link in the description down below, and you can go ahead and scale this up or down, however you choose. Now this tree is a bit less appealing than the trees that I made, because I kind of made it a little bit fast, but you can see that there's always adjustments that can be done. For example, I added more leaves around. This is a bit less leaves. I've also made sure the top leaves are longer, just to make it a little less messy. And I've also added some leaves under this place. That way it doesn't appear to be empty. So it's always about adjustments when you're 3D modeling. Alright, that'll be it for this tutorial. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Before I let you guys go, I just want to advertise a little bit my Discord server, which you can join in the link down below or in the comment section. And you can also get the asset pack that I made for free. The link is in the announcements channel. Now this Discord is just for fellow developers that want to improve, so you can put your showcases here, whatever you have made. And if you have any video suggestions, you can go ahead and put it in general chat, and you can see my social media and video posts in the social media tab. But yeah, I hope this video helped you a little bit, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.